So although with the recent rain and the colder weather, it is finally starting to feel like winter in Orange County, in the housing market at least, we're already starting to see signs of thawing and the market starting to heat up. So what does this mean if you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the next couple months? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about on today's episode. So if you've never seen this show before, hi, I'm Josh Alexander, your local Orange County real estate agent, and for 10 years now, I've been helping both buyers and sellers successfully navigate the housing market to buy and sell their home. So on today's episode, we're going to be going over my 2025 February housing market update and go over everything that you need to know if you're thinking of entering the market in the next couple months. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so like I do with all these episodes, I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of charts and data. So even though I look at those all day long, let's go over just the things that you need to know if you're thinking of buying or selling a home. So let's go ahead and start with inventory. So right now in Orange County, there's about 2,900 homes on the market. At the beginning of the year, we had about 2,500. So inventory is slowly growing as we go through January, which is completely normal. And then just to give you some more context, in November, we had about 3,500 homes on the market. So you usually see this in November hits, homes get taken off the market for the holidays, and then we start building back inventory, usually around the second week of January, going all the way through the spring market. So this is a completely normal inventory cycle. However, the one thing that you do need to know is compared to last year, there are 31% more homes on the market this time of year in Orange County than we saw last year. So you do have more inventory to choose from if you're a buyer right now than you did just last year. So the second thing I want to go over is how fast the market is moving. So are things selling for at asking price, above asking price, below asking price? So if you take the last 500 sales in Orange County, 43% of them were selling at or above asking price, which means that more than 50% of homes in Orange County had been selling for less than asking price. Now, this might sound alarming at first, but you do have to remember that homes that are closing at the end of January typically are going into escrow at the end of December, right in the middle of the holiday season, right in the middle of the slowest time of year. So anybody that was selling a home during that time of year either had to do so for tax reasons that needed to be done before the end of the year, or maybe they were moving someplace, but something prompted them to sell their home and they had to get it done, which means that more sellers were typically open to making a deal and selling their home less than asking price if they needed to, just to get it closed as quick as they can. So this is pretty normal for that time of year. I expect that number to continue to rise as we head through February, but just wanted to give you a quick update on where we are right now. Now, the second part I like to look at in terms of how fast the market is moving, and this one's more on the selling side of things, is if you put your house on the market, how long is it staying on the market before it gets into escrow? So if you look at the entire month of January, 32% of all homes that were sold in January went into escrow in less than 2 weeks, and 53% of those homes went into escrow in less than a month. Now, this is definitely a dramatic drop compared to previous months. However, again, we're going through the slowest time of year, so those numbers will increase. Right now, the average days on market is about 49 days. However, the actual number in terms of how fast your home goes into escrow is going to have a lot more to do with the area you're in. Is your home updated or not? Is it priced correctly? Because there's plenty of homes right now going into escrow within the first weekend with multiple offers if all of those things line up. So a lot of it's going to be based on the marketing strategy, the pricing strategy, how updated your home is, and what neighborhood you're living in right now. Now, the last important data point that I want to go over is the demand side of things. And this is where we go back to the beginning of the episode where I said we're starting to see things thaw. This is where that's happening. So over the last week alone, we saw demand go up by 16% in Orange County. And over the last 2 weeks, it's gone up by 31%. Now, when you compare that to inventory, which has only gone up by about 2% over the last 2 weeks, you're starting to see that buyers are entering the market much faster than sellers right now. And again, this is completely typical for this time of year. It's easier for buyers to get pre-approved, start looking for homes after the holiday season. Typically, sellers are going to take their time, get their house ready, and try to get their house put on the market in the springtime, so you just don't see inventory pile up that quickly until we get closer to the March timeframe. So right now, there's a lot of buyers entering the market, and we're getting to the point where the slow part of the season is over, and we're seeing a lot of buyer activity enter the market week after week. Now, in terms of the hottest price ranges in Orange County right now, it's been pretty typical throughout the last couple years, but anything between $750,000 and $1.5 million tends to be where the majority of buyers are looking right now. So if you have a home priced in that price range, again, and it's priced correctly, marketed correctly, those homes are going a little bit quicker than some of the more luxury properties, as well as even some of the properties that are a bit less expensive, because typically those need a little bit more work, so it takes longer to sell. Okay, so enough with the data. Let's go ahead and go over what this means for both buyers and sellers if you're thinking of entering the market over the next couple months. And let's start with the buyer side first. So on the buying side of things, especially over the last couple years, it's been really common for me to hear, oh, I'm waiting for home prices to crash. Oh, I'm waiting for interest rates to go down. And that's been the common occurrence over the last couple years. However, over these last couple months, I'm starting to hear buyers talk more about, I can understand that home prices aren't going to be crashing anytime soon. It looks like interest rates aren't going to be dropping dramatically anytime soon. And while I'm sitting here waiting for that to happen, home prices continue going up, and it's making it harder and harder for me to afford a home. So now I'm at the point where I want to get in the market, talk to a lender, and start looking at purchasing a home. So I'm seeing a lot of that happen. But on the other side of things, I'm also very aware that right now in Orange County, a majority of buyers that would love to purchase a home, it just doesn't make financial sense to do so. Either it's too expensive on the mortgage payment side of things, or trying to save up enough for a down payment to be able to afford a home in Orange County is extremely difficult, especially with rents being so high, food being so high. You just don't have enough money at the end of every month to save up a significant amount for that down payment. Now, the one thing I will say to those buyers out there is before you give up on your home ownership dreams, has anybody taken the time to actually go through your finances and see if you might qualify for some of these loan programs out there that would give you $10,000, $20,000 for down payment assistance, or being able to write offers to help you reduce the interest rate by 1 or 2%, making the mortgage a lot more affordable? There are a lot of different programs out there to help, especially first-time home buyers, get into that home. And if you're not exploring those before you completely give up, you might be shooting yourself in the foot, because you might find out that you thought you couldn't purchase a home, but after seeing these different programs, you might be able to actually purchase that home, and you can start looking as soon as this year. Now, the one thing I keep saying over and over again to buyers is you just don't know where you are until you have the information to figure out exactly what the financial side of things look like. And in order to do that, all you have to do is talk to a lender. And it's a win-win situation for you, because if you find out that yes, you do qualify for some programs and you can purchase a home, great. You can get that pre-approval. You can start talking to a real estate agent, develop a plan to go out there and start looking for a home immediately. But if you're still a year, 2 years away, if you're working with a good lender, the best part is you're now going to have that financial goal of where you need to be. The lender's going to come up with a game plan on how you need to get there. And so you have something to work towards. And all of this is completely free. Lenders do not charge you any money to go out and get this game plan started for you and give you that direction that you need, so you know how to actually hit that goal and eventually get to that home ownership dream of yours. Now, if you don't have a trusted lender that you can talk to help develop this plan, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I have a great lender I can refer you to that does a great job of going through the entire process and getting you set up, whether it's a month or two from now or 2 or 3 years from now, to make sure that you can eventually get to that home ownership dream. Now, as a buyer, if you're currently at a point where you just don't want to reach out to a lender yet, but you do want to get some more information about what the home buying process looks like, how to budget, what questions to ask a lender when you talk to them, I also offer a free guide. So if you look at the description or the link in my bio, depending on where you're watching this, you can get that free guide of basically how to budget for a home and get yourself set up for success, so when the time comes, you're going to have a head start over everybody else. So make sure you check out that free guide. Okay, so now for the selling side of things. So this time of year, I'm always getting asked by sellers when I should be putting my house on the market to maximize my profit. Now, the first thing I always say is it really is going to depend on your individual situation, because if you have kids in school and you don't want to pick up and move in the middle of the school year, then really the timing isn't going to matter as much in terms of the best time, but what's going to be the best for you. However, if your schedule is more flexible and you can put your house on the market at any point this year, it looks like we're gearing up for a pretty typical year in real estate based on all the data so far, which means that most likely the best time to place your house on the market for a seller is going to be sometime the very end of February all the way up to middle April. That's when you're going to maximize the amount of exposure, get the most amount of demand with the least amount of competition. After the middle of April, you're going to see a lot more homes hitting the market a lot faster, and at the same time, demand typically peaks towards the end of April into June, so demand starts dropping as you get closer to summer. So to maximize the amount of demand and minimize your competition, end of February to early April is going to be ideal to placing your house on the market. So if that's the timing you're aiming for, what should you be doing right now? Well, you need to be going through and decluttering your house, depersonalizing your house, making sure the inside is clean, the outside is ready to go. First impressions mean a lot, and 100 other things to get your house ready. Now, if you are thinking of selling your home this year and you want to get a checklist in front of you in terms of what you need to be doing to your house, which improvements you can make that are going to give you the most ROI, as well as what you need to be doing to get your house ready for photos and videos and inspections. Again, I have a free seller's guide. You can check that out in the link below or in my bio, depending on where you're watching this, that goes through all of that and more to get you set up to successfully sell your home. Now, if you are thinking of buying or selling a home this year and you want some more personal advice based on your specific situation, feel free to set up a discovery call with me anytime. Again, the link's below or in my bio. We can spend 15 minutes going over your specific situation, and I can help guide you in the right direction to make sure you're making the right decision for you and your family. It's completely free. Schedule at a time that's convenient for you. I would love to walk you through that whole process. Now, if you want to continue learning more about purchasing a home in Orange County, the first thing you want to do is check out this video right here where I go over all the new commission rules that just took effect next year, because that will make a major impact on how you buy a home. And then you can also check out this video right here where I break down the average cost of buying a home as well as a condo inside Orange County, so you know what the mortgage might be as well as what you have to be making to afford that property. So until next week, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you on the next show. Bye, everybody.